Hi students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mbithe, and in today's session, we are going to learn about note-taking, specifically note-taking when listening to an oral presentation or when in a lesson. We will define what note-taking is, differentiate between note-taking and note-making, and also have a few ways or a few guidelines to help us when taking notes so that our note-taking process is effective and efficient. So many times, note-taking and note-making are confused, but they are not the same thing. So note-taking is the practice or the process of writing down the main points from a spoken or written source. So maybe you have read, say, a novel, and then you take some notes, that is note-taking, or you're in a class and as you listen to what the teacher is teaching, you write down some things, or a presentation, maybe someone has come to give a talk or a speech, so you take down the important points. That is called note-taking. And note-making is the process of organizing the points that you took during note-taking. So note-making cannot happen before note-taking. Taking notes is note-taking is scribbling down the important things, and note-making is now coming back after that talk or that lesson to now write down and break down whatever it is that you scribbled, writing it down well, organizing it well. So that is the major difference between note-taking and note-making. And so, is it important to take notes? And one importance of note-taking is it makes it possible for you to comprehend what you hear, and it also helps you organize your thoughts. So for example, somebody has come to give a talk on, maybe this person is in the career that you wish to pursue after high school. So maybe you do have a rough idea of what this career is about. However, during the talk, you can still take down a few notes, and that helps you gather more information about this particular career, and also helps you organize your thoughts. And so even when you have questions, then it is easier for you to ask. So if you're going for a lesson and you need to take notes, there are some things that you can do to prepare yourself. So before the lesson, during the lesson, and after the lesson. So before the lesson starts, what are some of the things that you can do so that your note-taking process is seamless? Number one, think about the topic and how it connects to what you already know. So if it's an English lesson, maybe you will be taught about, say, compound nouns. Think about what do you know about nouns? Maybe the definition, the examples, the different types of nouns. So just brainstorm on what you already know regarding this particular topic. That gives you a mental picture of what to expect. If it is a new topic, get some general idea of the topic beforehand from sources like books and magazines. So if it's about nouns and you realize that you don't know anything about nouns, you can research maybe what is a noun, definition of a noun, or even just examples of nouns, just a general idea to guide you. And so in this process of research, maybe you find that you have a few questions that you need to ask. Write them down so that you do not forget. And then during the lesson, you can ask the questions. So now you are prepared for the lesson. And now you go into the lesson. So what are you supposed to do during the lesson? So now the lesson is ongoing. What are some of the things that you can do? Number one is, even before the lesson starts, ensure you have a notebook and a pen where you're going to take your notes. And then at the top, write the date and the topic. If possible, you can even number the pages. So the date and the topic just help you to be organized so that later when you go back to the notes, you're not confused, because there's a topic, there's a subtopic where necessary, and there's the date. After that, ensure you sit where you can hear properly and you can see properly. Maybe you can see the chalkboard properly. And then also listen critically. This means that you pick out the important and relevant points from what you are listening to. Remember, this is an oral presentation. This is a classroom session that is going on. And so listen, and after listening, write down only the important points. You don't have to write everything. Remember, you're taking notes, you're not making notes. So you just write down and scribble the important details. Make sure your notes are very brief and clear. And lastly, you can use abbreviations and short forms where necessary, except for things like formulas and definitions or special phrases or special words. So if you, for example, instead of writing for example, you can write EG. That is an abbreviation that is allowed. And finally, the last stage is now after the lesson. So now you prepared yourself for the lesson. You went into the lesson and, did the appropriate things. You wrote the date, the topic, you scribbled down the important points. Now what next? Now the lesson is over. Go back to your notes and confirm and check if they are legible, complete, and do not have errors. Remember, when you are taking notes during the lesson, you're probably in a hurry. You're writing faster so that you are able to continue listening. So your notes are prone to have some error. Maybe you may write a sentence that is not grammatically correct, or you may misspell some words. So immediately after the lesson, go through your notes, peruse your notes, and see if they do not have errors and they are clear and legible. If they do have errors, correct. If maybe it is a spelling mistake, correct it there and then. Do not postpone. If it is a sentence that is not grammatically correct, correct it then. Secondly, if necessary, research further. Maybe during the lesson, there's something that was said that maybe was not expounded or you did not understand. It is the chance to research further. Research can look like going to the teacher to ask and seek clarification. It can be reading in books, magazines, on the internet. So do not ignore anything that you did not understand. Research further for better understanding. And lastly, if you had noted down any unfamiliar vocabulary, ensure you research the meaning and seek clarification if need be. Again, you're in class, you're being taught, and a word is used that you are not familiar with. You've never heard it before. It is you write it down, and then immediately, before you forget, immediately after that class, go and look up the meaning of the word. If it is something that you do not understand, go and ask. And do your research to understand what does this word mean, what does this vocabulary mean. That will help you grasp everything that you have been taught. And these guidelines also apply to if you are listening to an oral presentation. Maybe somebody was giving a talk, maybe a speaker was giving a speech. These guidelines also apply to oral presentations. So that's it for this session. This was just the introduction to note-taking. This is a part 1. So there's part 2 of effective note-taking and different ways of taking notes, and we'll look at that in part 2. But for now, you can have a look at the quiz and attempt to do it. Your guidance and counseling teacher is set to give your class a talk on assertiveness. state 3 things you will do in preparation for the talk. And then the second part of this question, state 4 things you can do during the talk to ensure that you get the best out of the talk. Remember, here you've even been given the topic, which is assertiveness. Maybe if you don't know what assertiveness means, maybe you can start there, maybe research what assertiveness means. Maybe try to think, what do you think assertiveness means? And then how do you prepare for such a talk? Thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next session.